I believe that DeFi will replace traditional finance completely within the next 5 or 10 years. I believe that DeFi will replace traditional finance completely within the next 5 or 10 years. The way that institutions invest these days, I mean, most of them have approximately 50%, sometimes even more, of their total portfolio in government bonds, which basically means they're lending money to the government. And I don't know if you're familiar with governments and how they operate. Governments are terrible with money because politicians are incentivized to borrow money and they're not incentivized to pay it back. So governments don't act like corporations, and they don't seek profits. Politicians seek their own political gain. So lending money to a government, I believe, is a very bad move on a long-term basis. It's worked out for many people over the course of history as governments were more aligned and incentivized to deliver long-term, whereas now I don't believe that they are anymore. And I believe that US, for example, and China have levels of debt that are just completely unsustainable, and at some point is going to come crashing down. And I believe that time is sooner rather than later. But it is like kind of like predicting an earthquake, right? You know it's going to happen eventually, but you can't really tell the severity or the timing exactly. But when it does come crashing down, I believe DeFi is a much greater solution to that, because people have an ability to see where their money is at all times, and people have an ability to trust the code, and the code becomes, much more free and fair way of investing. And